And this is the brand new tube for London, which is going to be on the Piccadilly line from 2025. Siemens got in touch and they said, Jeff, would you like to come out to our Wildenrath test track in Germany to come and ride it? Yes, I would. So we've flown to Germany, to Düsseldorf, to the Siemens test facility at Wildenrath. I've been here before, I've made Londonist videos here in the past. The trains are actually being built in Vienna, Austria, but they're being tested here in Wildenrath before they get taken over to the UK, and there's one right behind me there. But first, we got to go have a briefing.
Good afternoon and very warm welcome at our test center here in Wegbert Wildenrath. From Siemens Mobility and indeed from Transport for London.
Okay, I mean, I'm slightly excited just to be hanging out by the new train.
Welcome.
Hello. We are on board. It is a 9-car train. Existing PIC 73s are 6 cars, but this is an intriguing 9-car design where there's like a long carriage and then a short carriage and then a long carriage, and only the longer carriages have bogies. Now there's a mirror partition there, so they're not letting us down the whole train. So it reminds me of when we visited it to the one in Gaul, the mock-up. This is not a mock-up. It is very real. The chosen maquette is here, and we're about to go for a little ride around the track.
And thank you for the hundreds of engineers in Siemens across Europe that have cleverly designed this in collaboration with their colleagues in TfL. You'll also see that we've kept in line with some key heritage principles. If you look at particularly the light design, you see the lights reflect some of the Art Deco architecture on the Piccadilly line. And the seats are classic, I would say classic London Underground seats with its own new seat covering design called Holden.
The cab appears to be open, so I'm just going to pop into the cab. One thing I didn't appreciate on the when I went to the Gaul day is the windows. I'm not sure what to make of these windows. There's like 3 little square windows. Is that less window space than you've currently got on the 73s? It might be. They're not. There was rumour that they were narrow. They're not narrow. They're just there's these bits in between here rather than it being one long continuous window. It's perfectly light and you can see out though. I have no issue with that. I feel like it wouldn't be a Jeff video unless I also got on the floor, because I was hoping that the pattern down here, I was wondering if there'll be like coloured flecks in here. It's just little grey flecks on black. You know, like how on the S stock they got like different coloured flecks. There's no coloured flecks here, but the maquette is awesome. It's being built in Austria, but then tested here. And half of them are being built in Vienna and half are being built in Gaul as of next year. Is that right?
So the plan is from spring next year that Siemens start production of this new train in Gaul.
Yes.
50% is the plan.
Now, an intriguing question I have to ask straight away. I've heard on the grapevine that these might be slightly wider than the existing 73 stock, and that some sort of modifications at stations might have had to have happened. Can you shed any light on that?
So we have built these trains to get as many customers in as possible, to make sure we can accommodate mobility impaired access.
Okay.
So they were deliberately designed to maximise the space in the tube. That does mean that on some of our platforms we do have to make slight modifications to the edges of the platform and some bits of the infrastructure. That's planned. It's something we've done with the previous fleet. So during the stage work of the trains, we will carefully risk assess that and make those modifications during engineering hours. But the end state, when we have all these fantastic new trains in, will give us a better platforms train interface for everyone.
And because it's walked through, what we think is about a 10% increase in capacity?
So there's a 10% increase because they're slightly wider, because of the through gangway, because we've managed to put a lot of the components that you would normally find in the ceiling of a train below the train, been re-engineered.
Including the air conditioning. Is the air conditioning below? Beneath?
The air
Where's
conditioning-
the aircon stuff?
The bulky kit is beneath the train, so it's had to be re-engineered because it's very small. So with our brilliant engineers, we've re-engineered it. It's underneath the train, where but it can easily be maintained as well.
Are you taking footage on your phone?
I was.
You making a video?
Well, no, I'm not making a video. I just got to get a shot for posterity.
Looks great, doesn't it?
So when they released the press pictures at the beginning of August or whenever it was, I thought it looked good. But I think seeing it in the flesh here, it's better. Definitely. Seeing it on a test track, moving, it's the real deal.
I've just been asked, how do I find the ride quality? It is a little quieter, it is a little smoother, but I'm aware that we're on a test track and not on the actual live Piccadilly line. So, yeah, it's. And people always complain if the seats are hard. The seats aren't hard. The seats are great. I like the fact there's like a little roundel embedded in there, down there. What I actually forgot to do, but just remember I can use my phone. I was going to bring my tape measure and measure the width between the doors and also the seating area here. So here's a shot of me now with my phone using the Measure app to see how wide it is. The train's come to a stop, which is handy. So if I press that there and drag that across, it's measuring, it's measuring, it's measuring. That is saying that is, exactly 2.5, so 2.5 meters. Okay, on screen now, a little caption at the bottom. There'll be the width of what the 73 stock is like, because when I get back, I'll measure the existing Piccadilly line train. I'm going to measure the distance between the seats as well, guys. We're actually split into two groups. Phil, you're in my group? I'm assuming you are, because you're here.
Yes.
Okay, right.
If not, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, maybe you've been in the wrong group the entire time. I'm just grateful that it's not raining. Phew, we're outside. Okay, so you can see here on the longer carriage, bogies there, and then, can you see here, this is a shorter carriage, so it goes long, short, and there are two sets of double doors on each, whether it's a long carriage or the shorter one, and the shorter carriage has no bogies underneath it, but as soon as you then get, there's a separation there, the gap there, you get to the longer carriage, the bogies are then back. And apparently the bogies are lighter, a lot lighter, which enables it to accelerate faster and just be a better train because it's not as heavy. I'm still not sure why they've put buttons on a train where you know the buttons aren't going to be used. It's not like it's an old train where you used to operate the doors and now you don't. It's a new train. Maybe it's just, I don't know, it's got buttons which won't be used. The doors will open automatically. I'm with, I was going to call you David, it's Dave, isn't it?
No, only my mother calls me David when I've done something wrong.
My mother calls me Jeffrey. Yeah,
oh, there you go.
Jeff. All right,
yeah,
nice to meet you. Hi, all right.
Hi,
the internet, the YouTubes, Dave, they're screaming out. They're like, basically, I asked some friends of mine, they said, what do you want to know when I go to Wildenrath? And they went, how is it a 9-car train and not a 6-car train? So, am I right in saying there's like 5 long carriages with bogies and 4 smaller ones in between without the bogies? Is that right?
Quite simply, it's 113 metres long.
Okay.
How we get to 113 metres long was our choice.
Okay.
We designed a 9-car train because what we needed was space to put all the modern systems in. How did we get the space, you ask?
Right. But
we didn't put all the bogies on the train.
Okay.
So we got 9 cars, which you'd expect to have 18 bogies.
Yes.
But we only have 10 bogies. Okay. And we do that in a formation where you've got 2 what we call DM'd cars, the driver motor cars, one at either end.
Yeah.
Then you've got the key motor cars with the engine on, and in between a DM and a KM,
yes,
you've got an IM, which is the intermediate car, which has no bogies on and which is shorter. Okay. Which is where your theory about 4 short ones is absolutely right. But the reason why we've done that is to get the space so we can put the equipment on, like air cooling.
Okay.
Also, it's lighter.
Yes.
So that's why, because we haven't got all the bogies on, the whole frame is aluminium as well. So we were asked to design the lightest possible train, so it's less energy. So that's why it's 20% more energy efficient. But it was based on a tram concept with an articulation tram. So well, they took that concept and said we'll apply that to a metro train.
Thank you. We got to go. Our time is almost up at Wildenrath, and we've got to run. Thank you so much for your time. All right.
So,
see you again.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Wir können auch Danke sagen.
Keine Daumen hoch. Sage danke.
That is it. That is the brand new tube train for London. You will ride that in 2025 on the Piccadilly line. My thanks to Siemens and everyone here today for having us. I'm going to go home now.